name is Tung-Chieh, and I'm currently the GMD of Bochumer Symphoniker and Intendant of the Anneliese Brost Musikforum, and we are right now in Bochum in my office. I was born in a musical family. Both my parents are musicians. My dad is a horn player. My mom is a cello player. So since I was very young, music has been daily in my home, in my family. I started to play the horn at about 9, 10, and then very quickly I came into play in the orchestra, sitting at the place where the horn sits, which is pretty back in the orchestra, and you can see very good the woodwinds, everybody in the strings and the conductor. So from quite early age, I would say I can observe this chemistry between a conductor and an orchestra. But it was not until later when I decided that I wanted to be a conductor. It was because of the music, the repertoire of the orchestra music is just so vast and it's so much possibility. So I decided to become a conductor because of that. I feel really honored to start my career here in Bochum, not only for the city, for the audience, and also for the orchestra also. I feel really treated openly, and I was really welcomed with open arms, and I felt really comfortable here somehow, making music and meeting the people and presenting concerts. For my time here in Bochum, there have been several recording projects and now coming out as CDs, and that we are very proud of. And it's not only about the product that we are putting out, it's also the process that we are doing it. And it's when you listen to a CD that we have recorded, it comes to my mind is the week, the days that we are recording in the Große Saal. And it's really every minute, every moment that we are grinding this music, trying to find out the meaning behind the notes, and together with the musicians and sometimes with the soloists from outside. And it's really a great process that you are remembered, you are reminded how open the people are and how much possibility there is for not only this hall, for the musicians here as well. So it's been a great journey, very special moment for myself. I hope for the orchestra too. That was the time when we went to my home country in Taiwan. We spent 6 days there, played 3 concerts for a fan base that is really unknown by us. It's the first time Bochum Symphoniker goes to Taiwan, and for Taiwan, it's the first time any Taiwanese game they brings an orchestra from outside for any Taiwanese conductor. So it was great experience from both sides, and you have to be in the concert hall to really experience this explosion of curiosity, and also after the last note of Mahler's Fifth Symphony, this explosion of applause was really experience of a lifetime. The beautiful thing about time is how do you define a long history? When you talk about a hall that has 50 years or 100 years or more, compared to a hall that has 9 years, but then there's the vast, huge quantity of time when you are 50 years later or 100 years later, then it becomes not so much different than Musikforum would have been then 100 years old. So we are really a very, very tiny portion of this huge history, and we oftentimes play pieces that was written more than 200 years ago. But yes, it's every day I'm in this hall, it's to be treated as, I don't want to sound like cliche, but it's like the last concert, that you give everything, absolutely 120% of all the wisdom you have accumulated, and all the heart or the emotion that goes into the music. And I think it's absolutely a great thing that this city has this hall, no matter how young or old this hall is, because then the city has a voice. And it's probably one of the most important things for any city, to have a voice that you can speak about what represents Bochum, or what is the value of the Bochumer people. And it's great to have this hall. From the construction, if you look at the construction of the Musikforum, that you build 2 new buildings on each side of a beautiful church in the center of the city, Bochum. And to look at the church as the foyer of a concert hall, everybody comes to listen to the concert in the große Saal or the kleine Saal. You have to come through the church. I think this alone implies a lot what we are aiming for and what we are striving for the people of Bochum, that this should be a place for everybody. If you want to come, if you want to join us, we are welcoming you with open arms. And if you do come to the Musikforum, really you have the opportunity to experience, in my opinion, and in many world-renowned musicians' opinion, one of the best acoustic in the world or in Germany. I was just last week welcoming one of the soloists, a violinist, world-renowned violinist, been here for the first time in Bochum, and the first note he plays on his Stradivarius, he stopped and said, "Wow, what a sound, what a sound." And he wanted to know more about the hall. So I had a short tour with him to the church, to the foyer, and to the kleine Saal, because he was so impressed by the sound of the große Saal. He wanted to see more about the construction of the hall. And he also was really intrigued by this idea of everybody coming into the hall from the church. And it's such a, not a religious way, but a spiritual. It's a very spiritual process, as if you come to the concert and after the concert in 2 hours you are transformed somehow. You are a different person. In the hall and out of the hall, you are a different person. I would say the biggest challenge, one of the biggest challenges, is that we are less seen because we are new. You're, like the new kid on the block. Your new neighbor. But it's great to be new because you have a lot to risk. You can really risk a lot, and that's what we are really trying to do here. And it's been, like I said, a privilege, because to be the intendant of a new house, because it's really so much you can do, and we are different. We are the only symphony orchestra, not an opera house, in the Ruhr area. There's Essen, there's Dortmund, and there's us. So we can really do something different. To have as many people, not only in Bochum, but in the neighboring city, people from Dortmund or Essen, to come here and experience, if they have time, once a year or something, because it's really a different atmosphere, and it's really a different orchestra, because in the difference between an opera orchestra and a symphony orchestra, where you put right in the center of a stage instead of in the pit, in the dark. You are center in the stage, and you are presented as also a visual performance. And this is something I think worth coming. It's not so far, and it's really a great acoustic, and we are presenting some amazing programs. So I would say that's something I would really love to do for the Musikforum. In Asia, we are very much talking about young audiences, and also here in Bochum, I think it's to have a place like the Musikforum here in Bochum, I think it's one of the key is to nurture young audiences, and this is the future of our generation. And in the future, we are not only talking about arts, we are talking about nurturing humans, yeah, and to have this opportunity for all young people here in Bochum, they could access, if they want, to come to the hall and listen to art and have an open ear. I think that's something really a privilege for any city like Bochum. I would say for me personally, and it's very special because I have one of the most special job in the world, I would like to believe, is when these moments you feel like you are in one. Everybody in the hall is in one. The conductor, the musicians, and the audience. There are some moments in the concerts where you can just feel it, that everybody is listening intensely and the musicians are with you like you are playing, you are one instrument. And this brings me extreme happiness.